You're listening to Things I Want to Know.
Things I wanna know. Why your hands still shake with every chart you hold. Why you read the screen like it's a secret code. Do you care at all? Or are you just too slow? Wasted in this cold bright room in school. You assume you're sure, but you can't change.
So, welcome. You're listening to Things I Want to Know. And I'm sitting here listening to the song. We're making our own music now for every episode so far.
Yeah, so far.
And I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. What do you think?
That's not bad.
This is classic Nirvana-esque music going on.
Yeah, a little bit, I'd say.
It's not quite Nirvana, but it's not quite Foo Fighters, I don't think.
It's grunge, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 90s grunge. Absolutely. And the theme about it is 90s grunge is because of what we're going over today. And doctors.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, as you know, every state has a coroner.
This is true.
And the coroners, now you know a little bit about coroners.
Some, yeah.
They're elected in Arkansas.
Which I think is totally messed up, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion.
They're allowed to carry firearms.
I don't think you should be elected. I think you should be qualified.
Hired?
Qualified to do the job.
Well, you do have to be qualified a little bit before they'll let you actually work get on the ballot as a coroner. You can't just be like, well, I've buried a couple of dogs and I know what killed them because, I accidentally hit them with my tractor.
I don't know, man.
That's not qualified as a coroner, I don't think.
I don't know. I just think you need a lot of training other than, I don't know, maybe a medical doctor for that position, which I don't even think you have to be, do you?
Yeah, I think so. You're going to make me look that up, damn it.
I don't know, man. The idea of elected, I'm thinking I don't know. Something about that. I feel like you should be qualified or take board tests or be suited for the job, not just because you can put your face on a poster.
You would think so.
Yeah, you would hope.
So, a coroner used to not actually be that big a deal back in the day, but as we get more and more in medical, right?
Yeah, more and more forensic stuff coming out. You have to be qualified and be able to know how to do certain testing to catch the bad guys. So, yeah.
So in many states, no medical degree is required.
Okay, that's messed up.
And some states require minimal training after election. And in some places, the coroner can literally be a funeral home director, which is Arkansas, because the funeral home director out in Berryville is the coroner. I found that out because remember when I was driving to Eureka and that one lady, there's big traffic backup and I'm driving by and I don't know what possessed these guys to do this. They left this lady sitting in her car. There's no sheet on her or nothing. She's just dead. And I could tell she was dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you've not seen a dead person in real life, not at the funeral home, but I mean,
actual passed away recently, within minutes or hours.
Yeah, she was still 98 degrees. That's how long, the time that went by.
Nowadays
she stopped her car in the middle of the road. She brought it to a stop before she died. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Either she could have like rolled her car off the mountain, which is
Yeah.
a possibility, or she could have hit somebody else, which happens.
No, she didn't hit
typically.
anybody.
But I mean, that's typically,
Yeah.
I mean, what you would think of when someone who dies like at the wheel, either they're going to hit somebody or they're going to roll off the road.
Yeah,
In this
she was-
case, she could like literally roll off the mountain.
Yeah, think of those German or Australian Austria Alps roads that you see on TV commercials and the big fight movies that are in Europe. That's what Eureka Springs has, roads just like that.
Pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah. But no, so I drove by, I knew she was dead. I mean, you just looked at her and knew her. And so I asked the sheriff deputy that's standing there, and he goes, "No, waiting on the coroner." And I said, "Well, we've been waiting for almost an hour." And he goes, "Oh, I know. He's funeral home director. They had a funeral. I had to wait till that was done."
I think if you think about it, though, they don't know what happened, and they're probably not allowed to touch the body in
Oh, no,
any
they're
form or
not.
fashion. So they can't put a sheet on. They can't do none of that. They have to literally leave them as they are, which if you think about it, if it was like a murder scene, you don't want people like messing up stuff by covering
Yeah.
up stuff. I mean,
Well, the coroner in Arkansas cannot be in charge of that. It has to go to the Arkansas State Crime Lab, which we'll get into, which plays a major factor in the story we're doing today.
hopefully we've
It does.
evolved since then. I have a
no,
feeling.
no, I don't think so.
Well, if something ever happens to me, I guess ship my body out of state because I probably won't have much luck.
Now who's negative? She's been calling me negative for a week.
If you say that they're so bad here, if like something happens to
I'm
me,
sure there's good ones.
they're like, well, I think she's dead.
It's that, like my dad used to say when he sold insurance to really old people. He had the glass test. You put a glass over their mouth, and if it fogs up, they're still alive.
Oh my God, that's awful. That's awful.
The breath.
You're breathing.
Yeah, they're breathing. So, oh my gosh, is there anything happening? By the way, did we do anything special this week?
Not really. Just the usual stuff.
We had a couple of boxing matches, I think.
Boxing matches.
You got mad at me.
Most married couples get mad at their significant spouse at least once a week.
This does not mean it's a bar to hold yourself to.
No.
So today, this isn't about a killer. It's about a signature.
Okay.
Dr. Fahmy Malik. He was the state's medical examiner from 1979 till he resigned about 1991, right?
Well, it's most of our childhood.
Yeah. Bill Clinton was running for office, and Bill Clinton kind of pushed him out. That's the hubbub.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like, he trust me, there's so many unsolved murders and crap in this state that he had his fingers in.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. During the time, though, he performed and supervised on thousands of autopsies. He was the medical examiner for the state of Arkansas.
So he's the head dude.
You're right. So the coroner can claim this person's dead, but he's got to sign off on the cause of death.
Oh my.
Yeah. A lot of his conclusions determined whether deaths were ruled accidental, suicide, homicide, or undetermined.
Okay, that's standard. Yeah.
Or, I really say that we need another category. That's fuck around, find out. We need that one.
Fuck around and find out.
Yes, because he died from fucking around and find it out.
Oh, I was going, what? In other words, a checkbox for you were an idiot?
Yeah, it's the hold my beer clause.
Oh, gosh. That's probably going to qualify for a lot of, like, Southern people in the state.
I have attempted the hold my beer clause, but prevailed many times.
Yeah, and then
Hold my beer, boss.
and that clause end up in the emergency room and in the ICU and end up taking care of you because
It's a
you were an
great
idiot.
story, usually, though. Unless you're trying to put lipstick on an alligator or something like that Florida guy did.
He baptized
He baptized the alligator. That's right.
with a pitcher of iced tea. I was like, please tell me that that's a joke.
No, it was real.
He must have been high on whatever substance that would possess him to take an alligator and baptize with iced tea.
So in multiple cases, though, this guy, I got this off newspapers.com, so it's from the Associated Press. Multiple cases, though, this guy, from the, I got this off newspapers.com, so it's from the Associated Press. Multiple cases, though, this guy, and from the, I got this off newspapers.com, so it's from the Associated Press. Multiple cases, though, this guy, and from the, I got this off newspapers.com, so it's from the Associated Press. across Arkansas, his conclusions a lot of the times were challenged, reviewed, and in some instances even changed.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, I could understand like once or twice that you get things changed, but it sounds like this guy had a lot of it changed.
Well, one of the biggest ones is Kevin Ives and Don Henry. Many of the listeners will know who that is. Many won't. You probably don't. They were found dead on a railroad track in Saline County.
Oh, I think I've heard of this.
The original conclusion attributed to the deaths to accidental scenario involving them smoking too much marijuana and falling asleep.
On the railroad tracks, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that
this
what
is
they
the
thought?
Mena case that everybody gets into.
I think I've listened to something on that, and I remember going, what would possess you to think that's what happened?
Exactly.
Didn't they prove that those kids were pushed?
I know.
Or am I thinking of a different case?
No. Oh my gosh, my notes are all goofed up now. I screwed up my notes again. I got to get better at this note stuff. You're going to school. You're going to teach me.
Oh, God, I don't know if I'm having to remember. It's been a while since I've been out.
So on these guys, Kevin Ives and Don Henry, we need to figure out where the facts stop and the speculation begins, because there's a lot of garbage out there on this. I mean, Tom Cruise did a movie about these two kids.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So in 1987, Kevin Ives, Don Henry were killed by a freight train in Alexander, Arkansas, in Saline County. But the first official explanation came from Fahmy Malik, who ruled the deaths accidental. His conclusions attributed the boys' presence on the tracks due to marijuana. He said they fell asleep on the tracks and were run over by the train.
I mean, marijuana does make people do
Not
dumb
that.
things. I mean, it does make some people sleepy.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't put you out.
I mean,
it's not like you're taking, Ambien or something.
I would like to think that they would be like, if the bodies are on the track and they're asleep, that the little, choo-choo coming down the road would be enough to wake somebody up to be like, oh, man.
Well, I saw a documentary where they interviewed one of the guys that was first on the scene, and he's like, these boys were destroyed. They were pieces a mile down the road. They had to pick them up.
I remember that.
Yeah.
We watched something on that. I'm going, that's just a horrible way to die.
It's awful, isn't it? So his ruling basically just shaped the entire investigation. Because the coroner says in an accident, the investigation changes. State police, the urgency stops, the narrative settles, things like that.
They kind of don't push it as hard because you already have an explanation of who. We're not going to look for anybody. It was an accident.
Right. Well, family pushed and finally got a grand jury to look at it, which in Arkansas, grand juries don't happen very often.
I don't think they do.
We
anymore.
don't use them very often at all. The grand jury decided, no, these kids were killed.
Oh, well, good for them.
Yeah. And so eventually the official death certificates were changed to reflect that the boys are murdered. Yeah. I mean, come on, right? And the documentation says the state's initial forensic ruling was accident. The record was later corrected to homicide. And then it gets weirder from there, because as we know, at the time of the boy's death, the Saline County prosecutor was Dan Harmon. Now, Dan Harmon, and I got this from the federal court records, Harmon was convicted of racketeering, conspiracy to extort, and conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute marijuana.
And he's what, the prosecutor?
The prosecutor of the county.
So the prosecutor of the county is just getting blitzed.
No, he's selling it. And he got caught with, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, running prostitutes too. Locals.
And when was this, in the 80s?
Yeah. This is, and the guy who was flying this stuff in was the guy that was tied to Iran-Contra, and Tom Cruise did an entire movie based on him. He was flying drugs in and using Mena as the airport.
Oh, isn't that
Yeah.
There's the guy talks about a documentary, right?
Yeah. But there's no court ruling that legally proves Harmon ordered, participated in, or was directly involved in the murders of those two boys. Okay. And the allegations are that because Mena, Arkansas was tied to documented drug smuggling from Barry Seal, that's the guy with the airplane, Barry Seal, that history is, it also supports that, oh my God, sorry. I'm looking at this going, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Documented drug smuggling history tied to Arkansas, that area. The SEAL guy, which is the guy that Tom Cruise played.
Okay.
Right? He was bringing it in. The local prosecutor was later convicted on drug-related federal charges. He's the one that ordered the drugs, from what we can take, and that's speculation on my part.
Okay.
But it makes a whole lot of sense when you consider how much drugs this man was found with and how much he had moved. I mean, we're talking tons.
So
over time.
The prosecutor's just selling a bunch of weed.
Yes, this prosecutor here's what he was doing. Anybody that was fighting him over the business, they'd go to jail.
Well, I mean, he's got the power to do that.
And he did it. So the question I have on this, and this is something we'll probably never find out, was the Arkansas crime coroner, was he in cahoots with this prosecutor? I mean, that's not far. It's not hard to believe because they have contact with each other constantly. The prosecutor and the medical examiner.
I mean, it's not a far-fetched idea.
It's not a far reach, is it?
No.
I can't prove it's true, obviously, but it makes me wonder. No one's ever really bothered to investigate this. Okay, and this is why he kind of this medical examiner falls under the radar in conspiracy theorists. All right, because no one ever investigated it. No one ever put two and two together and said, I wonder if these guys knew each other. Because it would make sense.
So what do you think this has the connection with the two boys on the railroad track?
It may be that he knew it. It may not be. May not be anything because we don't know. Maybe that he was getting paid to put accidental death even though those kids were killed by the prosecutor.
But why would you kill the boys unless they had something that you wanted them not to
explain?
They
suspect that they walked in on what they would do. They take the drugs off the airplane and put it on the train and take it around the country.
Okay, back then that makes sense.
Yeah. And the boys found out and they didn't want any witnesses. That's the speculation. I know.
It's like
they're all high and drug dealers. First off, you're making poor choices right off the bat because you're a drug dealer.
And you're also a prosecutor, but say these kids were living and they like go to the police department and are like, hey man, that guy's selling drugs. They're going to be like, that's a prosecutor. No.
Right.
They're not going to take him seriously. So why kill him?
So he's involved in that. Okay. This is this Malik guy. And then later, was Olivia Janie Ward, 16 years old, in Marshall, Arkansas. Initial reporting described a short fall from a porch roughly 13 to 15 inches. The original ruling was labeled accidental. But later, they had, after a review by an out-of-state medical examiner, right, the official determination shifted from accident to undetermined.
Okay.
Which, that's a huge hole right there. And we'll have to get into that case later because it's really convoluted.
Would they think that she fell
She might have been hit over the head.
Oh, I see.
But we don't know.
We really don't know if she
Might.
She's how old, 16?
Yeah, 16, fell off a porch. It's 18 inches high.
That's a little suspicious to me. I mean, my first question was she drunk?
I don't know. She might have been.
I mean,
but we don't know anything. That's the problem. Because when the medical examiner Malik put it as an accident, they quit investigating. It's just an accident. There's nothing the police can do. So all the physical evidence and just kind of goes away. It's an accident.
But what benefit do you get out of calling her an accident?
I don't know. There really isn't anything on that. I don't know. There's nothing to find.
He was just that of an idiot.
He's either really incompetent or just doesn't care or is getting paid off or something. I don't know.
Wow.
That's why we're doing this episode because this guy's it's crazy all the crap that happened underneath this guy. In another case, Raymond Albright of Mountain View. This one's absolutely horrid. He was originally ruled as a suicide. However, because they found that he was shot 4 times in the chest and once through the heart, after a secondary review, They said, no, he was murdered.
That's not suicide.
That's not suicide.
You don't just wake up and go, I'm not dead enough, and shoot yourself again. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's
exactly.
Either you miss and you don't do a successful suicide, or you do it correctly. I mean, these are your options.
You shoot yourself in the chest. I mean, I guess it depends on the chest. If you wing yourself and you didn't hit a
that
lung.
has to be an awkward angle to do that. If you like take your hand and like, put it over your heart like in the shape of a gun, that is going to be really hard.
To pull a trigger on a gun, you'd have to almost dislocate your shoulder to get it in.
I mean,
because you have to hold the gun from behind, especially some firearms. I don't know which firearm this was. Some firearms, like mine, for example, has 3 safeties on it, and they're not turn the safety on and off. If you don't have your hand wrapped around the handle, around the grip, it won't go off. It's got a hammer lock on it. You have to press in on the back of the handle or back of the grip, and that releases a piece of metal that allows you to fire. Okay. Plus, there's the regular safety that you're used to, click, 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 click. And there's another one. It's also in the hammer. It's a hammer lock. You pull that down, and it disengages the hammer, so you can walk around with the hammer pulled back. All you got to do is push that down. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
So it's got 3 different safeties on it.
I would imagine at this time frame that they don't have that much safety technology.
Oh, no, they did, because most of these things that I'm talking about were in the 1945 version of the Colt 45.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Yeah. It's these safeties are old and they're
how
reliable.
How do people accidentally shoot themselves?
Because they're idiots and they buy cheap guns with no safeties on them. My pistol is like $1,000. So
they make guns with no safeties?
Yes. The cheaper they are, the less safe they are.
I didn't know that. See, I learned something. But
yeah, you see those guys shoot themselves on TV and whatnot, on the TikToks and whatnot. It's because they're trying to play cowboy or they're trying to play gangsta, and they got their finger on the trigger of a loaded weapon the entire time. And it doesn't take much. 6 pounds, 6 to 12 pounds of pressure to pull the trigger on a gun. It's a way above 12 pounds to open a pop can.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So way above.
So
in 92, the state crime lab board came in and voted to change all 4 of these death certificates.
And so at that point in time, there wasn't any red flags of maybe this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Tons of red flags about this guy.
But they didn't do anything about it, obviously. I don't know the bureaucratic system in Arkansas as far as you get elected and you suck. If you can, if you can get, impeached out or whatever the term is for you.
There's an article of a sheriff that said, where the sheriff came out and said that this man should be fired. He's incompetent. And this is mid-'80s.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't even...
That's saying something for us, because normally we wouldn't be that bold in a news. Well, you know what I'm saying? Most people are like...
Sheriff Nelson says he'd fire Fahmy Malik. And this is out of Benton. I don't have the time on this one. It is, is 1990. In 1990, he came out in the paper and said, according to the Baxter Bulletin, Republican gubernatorial nominee Sheffield Nelson said Friday he would fire state medical examiner Fahmy Malik if he is selected, and he criticized Bill Clinton for not dismissing Malik a long time ago.
Oh, that's not good.
Sheffield Nelson, we know Sheffield. He never won, but he always ran against old Bill. That's a governor candidate, gubernatorial candidate, if I can tell.
It's really sad that our state is known for the West Memphis and Bill Clinton, and here we go, Mr. Bill Clinton. Yeah,
well, of course he's going to be, and he's a governor at the time, so, you can't get around that.
Still, you know what I'm saying? This is, really sad.
There was this interesting group here. They called themselves VOMIT, VOMIT.
Please tell me that's an acronym for something.
Yes, it's an acronym. Victims of Malik's incredible testimony. That's what they called themselves.
Oh, God. Can you pick a better acronym?
Right. So this is from the Commercial Appeal out of Memphis, February 2nd, 1992.
Oh.
Right. And some members of a group that hounded Dr. Fahmy Malik out of his state medical examiner's job say the state didn't get much better with his replacement.
Oh, no. Please tell me we've done better now.
This is 40 years ago. So,
I hope we've done better. I really do, because God forbid, you know.
I'm looking for the sheriff one, because there's a sheriff that said he needs to go. I mean, it's not just a couple people. It's a lot of folks during that time.
Everybody's like raising a fuss that this man's awful, but yet nobody does anything. Who has the power to say?
The governor. The governor.
Oh, so Mr. Bill.
Bill had to do it. Yeah.
Bill had to do it. And he's probably just sitting on his butt, not doing anything.
No, he's hanging out with flowers in the garden.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That was a good one. He's
Jennifer Flowers.
He's tending his flowers in the garden. He still says that didn't happen, even though they wrote her a check. Whatever, we don't know.
Well, he's in the Epstein file, so I think that man is capable.
We're
not going to go there.
Yeah. We're trying to keep out of politics here.
All right.
I met Bill once, and I wasn't happy with him. So
I remember my mother.
I was a kid.
My mother was like, "Oh, when he was running for governor, he held you," and I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah, who cares? He rode in the back of my dad's convertible. Dad rode him in a parade down in Springdale.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's waving. Hey, how's it going? Right?
Oh my God!
But Dad, the next year, or not the next year, but a few years later, because it's a little bit. Huckabee rode in the same car, so whatever.
That's better.
Huckabee Sanders' father, Mike Huckabee, rode in the back of my
I remember when he got
car.
in office. Yeah.
Yeah, and that guy's interesting. He's not Hutchison. Oh my God! Let's not get started.
Yeah.
Anyhow, moving on.
So it makes me wonder how many other states have gone through this same hell.
Probably a lot, actually. So it's not about proving one man wrong in one case, is what
he's got several.
Yeah, because medicine, as you know, is complex. Forensic pathology, it involves interpretation. Reasonable experts even a reasonable expert can disagree.
Yeah, and it can change from like what happened 10 years ago to what's current now. I mean,
well, it's like that one lady that they convicted her of shaking that baby.
Yeah,
and it had meningitis or something.
It was something where they end up proving that
it wasn't her.
It wasn't her.
But it took 12 years to do it.
Yeah, so I mean, technology arises where
she could finally let her out. Thank God. That was there's a documentary on HBO about that, and it's sad when you watch it. It's
very sad. Yeah.
But these are high-profile cases, right? Murders. Those two boys.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking about murders.
Injustice is for the family. I mean,
because they quit investigating it when it comes back as an accident.
Well, the people on the train, the girl that supposedly fell off the porch. I mean,
yeah. And so what are the safeguards in that office? That's the problem. That's what we want to know. It's a political office, really.
But did anybody works this guy go be like,
Yeah, a few people complained, and that's why he kept getting called up to the board of review. And because it's a political appointee, then there's nothing you can do about it. The board had to fire him. I mean, the board couldn't fire him without the governor's consent, from what I understand.
See, that's what I'm saying. It should be an elected position.
I agree. Jeez.
Is there any other high-profile cases this man is screwed up, or are we done?
Well, let's see. We did Kevin I. Yes. Now the West Memphis 3.
Yeah, that's another thing this state's known for, which isn't a good thing either.
And he happens. He's around in that one. The medical examiner in the case. Let's see. On May 5th, 1993, 3 8-year-old boys were found in a ditch, murdered. And they blamed it on these teenagers.
But we're all in this satanic panic era.
Yeah, and satanic panic was never a thing. It never existed. Nothing. You can just document it. Yeah, satanic panic's a bunch of crap. But the medical examiner in that case was Dr. Frank Peretti.
A different guy.
Yeah. And the reason the coroner piece matters in this example is whatever the body says next becomes the language investigators and juries live inside. Right? Well, if you remember, Sheffield, running for governor, said this guy Petty shouldn't be there either.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But these guys were running our criminal investigations. They're the head man. They have to sign off on every time somebody's been called a murderer.
That's really scary if you think about it. Because, I mean, what happens if a family has to push and push and push and get a grand jury or like get somebody else to do it or like an order for justice to be served?
Yeah.
Well, or at least their voice to be heard.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so this guy, he gets over and over and over and over again has screwed up cases and had to what I want to know is how many things has he done that weren't, and no one cared to follow up because they're poor or
that's
homeless.
a good point. Or how many of these cases have had people sitting on death row or people sitting in prison that have not
exactly
been looked at to
and
possibly be overturned?
How many cases do we cover on true crime people from Arkansas that are just wrong on its fact and we can't see past it because all we can do is read the facts?
Why doesn't the Innocence Project get involved in some of the cases by him to double check?
I don't know.
I mean, I would think that would be like their bread and butter of winning, Innocence Projects to get people, off of death row or out of prison or do set wrongs, right. I would think if you want to bolster that viewpoint that you would go after, this is the incompetent guy. We're going to go fix his cases because we want to prove a point, for lack of a better term.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like the Olivia Janey Ward case, right? Fell off the porch at a party. Okay. The circuit judge, John Cole, granted request to change the death certificate. And it's like, wow, why?
Another question I have, maybe this might answer what I just said.
Yeah.
In cases that are ruled accidental, what happens to what the evidence collected? Does it get burned? Does it get put away? What happens to it?
Well, it depends on the police department.
Because if you think about it, they got to hold on to, I'm sure, a ton of stuff for, I don't know how long, I'm guessing. I know medical records in the hospital, you got to hold on those puppies for like a long period of time before you're allowed to archive them or even like shred them. So I'm guessing, crossing my fingers, that evidence like that is still held. But if it's an accident, do they even keep it?
No, in an accident, they don't.
So that may explain why some of these people won't get justice because they thought it was an accident when it wasn't.
Right.
And then there's no evidence to do anything with, so it's just sitting there.
So there's another case, Randy Brady. He was killed. And here's the newspaper. The 87 death of Randy Brady of Little Rock. Malik ruled the death suicide, but the family insists he was killed. And they overturned that death certificate as well.
How many cases are we at now?
Four total.
4 total. We're too many.
The problem with Randy Brady is I don't think anybody ever cared about this guy Randy Brady. So he didn't. I mean, I'm looking here. It's 84. It's when this happened, and I'm on the newspapers archive as we speak because I'm like, I want to see this, and I can't even find anything on it, and that's the problem. That's what I'm thinking, because I can't find anything on it. No one cared or followed up, right?
That's awful.
It is awful. And it's all because this guy said accident or suicide when it wasn't.
I still can't get over the one where the guy shot himself, 4 times?
4 times.
4 times.
4 times.
I mean,
and through the heart once.
That's just, come on.
It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? And after examining new information, they said the manner of death could not be determined. More than likely, the Malik didn't do any documentation.
So they can't make any determination, so it just sits there.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably just looked at it and went, oh, yeah, and wrote it suicide.
That's messed up.
But I'm guessing that he didn't leave he didn't do anything because there's nothing to track on this. It's like one of the state's little secrets.
So who finally...
That means The Donna, Sue Nelton, and all these other ones that we talked about in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was him. He was the death guy. He's the one that had to give that. No wonder they're having troubles with these. I'll bet you they don't have any forensics from the body
Could be
on
yeah.
a lot of these cases. Just dawned on me. It's just the same guy every one of these deaths from 79 to 91.
My gosh.
That's all of the ones we covered so far.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know how many cases he had his hands in over those years.
Wow.
I'm sure like quite a few.
Independent pathologists all have been investigating this guy for years. He had to resign in 91 after families and some law enforcement officials accused him of botching autopsies, which means I don't think he wrote anything down. It doesn't sound like there's anything.
What the heck? I mean, what are you doing? Just like, well, he's dead. Next one?
The board agreed in March to hire outside pathologists to review all of the cases that were in dispute.
Well, at least they did that.
Yeah, well, they had to. Well, you'd have to exhume them at this point, and if they're cremated, you're screwed.
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's bad enough for a family to not know what happened to their loved one, and, but then to come back and they have to be re-exhumed and like all go through that all over again. I would want it done just because I'd want justice, but I can only imagine like how turmoil that must be for a family.
Well, and think about it this way: these guys that are the outside consultants, all they're doing is going through his paperwork, and if it's not documented correctly, because they can't go and review the body, if he didn't take pictures, if he didn't take blood samples, if he didn't take tissue samples. So
he must have really not documented anything for these people to be like.
I'm thinking that's got to be what it is.
Because they're like, we got to do something because I got, there's
undetermined. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? And that's because he didn't have to be a doctor to be in this job. It's, it sounds like a political appointee gone wrong.
What was he doing prior to this, I wonder?
I don't know.
What, working at McDonald's? I mean, seriously, what was it?
It did.
What makes you wake up one day and be like, oh my God, run for coroner?
Wow, I don't know. Let's see. What do you think?
I'm curious.
Before being Arkansas coroner. It's lovely radio. You get to listen to somebody Google.
It's part of it.
He was a physician trained in pathology. It's a subspecialty in forensic pathology. He was served as a forensic pathologist, Arkansas State Crime Lab. He testified in homicide trials across Arkansas in court records and appellate opinions from the 1990s forward. He is identified as a forensic pathologist and employed by the state crime lab. So he's still working as this. Jesus.
What?
Jeez.
This man has no business touching anybody. Anything.
Peretti was not. Okay, so that was Peretti. Never mind. That's Peretti. That's a new one. I don't know when he left. Let's see. Yeah. Copy and paste. So the other guy, I don't know about him. We really, this is interesting. I wonder if the rules have changed. That would be nice to know.
I hope they have.
He was Egyptian.
Okay.
Fahmy Malik. I knew he was somewhere in that region. He's born in Egypt somewhere in the 1930s. Earned his medical degree in Egypt that would have to be the 50s.
Okay.
Right? What's Egypt known for in the 50s? Sadat? Anyway. Came to the United States for further training, completed training in pathology, and was later specialized in forensics. Worked as a pathologist in New York and Mississippi before being hired in Arkansas. Prior to becoming Arkansas State Medical Examiner, he worked in hospital pathology settings and in forensic work connected to state systems.
So he was trained. He was trained here as pathology.
So he wasn't a political appointee with no training. He was a licensed physician with pathology credentials.
He just didn't give a crap. Sounds like.
I don't know. I mean, he had to have passed his degree somewhere in the States. and pass the test, or he couldn't, you had to get certified.
But obviously,
Maybe, maybe he got grandfathered in. I don't know.
I mean, we did have that controversy like several years ago about a pathologist at the VA here, like messing up and like because he was drunk or whatever. But maybe he just didn't care.
Wow.
Or maybe he had a substance problem and just didn't really care.
Or he just wasn't very good.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he graduated medical school, I would hope, with not all D's, but, maybe.
That's what my uncle said. He was a pediatrician. That's what he said. You know what they call a doctor with 3 A's and 2 B's? A doctor. Do you know what they call the same doctor with 3 C's and 2 D's?
A doctor.
A doctor. Exactly. And ever since he said that to me, I will not just go take a doctor's word for it. I research it and figure it out. They have the knowledge. They can tell me what they think. And then if I'm suspect, then I move on.
Yeah.
He was hired by the Arkansas Health Department, according to an Arkansas Democrat Gazette Capitol Bureau, then dated July 25th, 1992. He was appointed to the department's laboratory medical consultant. So he's still working murder cases.
Today?
In 1992.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God. He had been conducting research in sexually transmitted diseases. I had a friend in high school who was doing that, but he was doing it the hard way.
So you're researching STDs to being a coroner.
Yeah.
That's a far jump.
No, that's what he's doing STDs after he was coroner. Oh. When he resigned and they hired him again.
They hired him again to be in charge. Oh, my God.
He later then moved to Florida and died in Clearwater on August 21st, 2018 at 85.
So basically, they just shipped him off from one post to another.
No, I guess, maybe.
I mean, if you're messing up that much where things are going to overturn, why was his medical license not revoked?
I don't, well, he's not operating on people. But they're dead, and dead's a different category.
Maybe, but still, I mean,
do no harm.
He's not really doing any harm, but he is.
Yeah,
he is in a way doing harm to everyone else that's involved in it.
I agree.
But it's not the definition of medical harm per se, I would think. But
so after he resigned as state medical examiner, Arkansas Health Department director Dr. Joycelyn Elders. Oh my God, the Clintons took her to Joycelyn Elders. Mm-hmm. They took her to the D.C. She was over some government heavy duty federal government stuff, and she's not very nice. In my opinion. They hired him to do sexually transmitted disease work. He still had an MD in pathology background. But why? I want to know why they hired him in the first place, To
hush it up.
No, I'm talking about for the original job. I mean, what credential could he, obviously he could speak English, but there's a lot of Arkansas doctors that could have done that job. Why did nobody want to do it?
You talking about his coroner job?
Yeah. But
it's probably, I don't know what it was like then, but it's not like a very glamorous job.
Okay, Here we go. So the record says that Clay White was the Arkansas Crime Lab director at the time, and he hired Malik the previous year as a deputy medical examiner. Mm. So he just got promoted into it. And then somebody retired and he just next in line. Mm. Yeah. He was just one of many people in Cook County. Yeah, he worked for the medical examiner's office there.
So who had the, pressure to finally make him resign? Who's saying?
I think, personally, it was the screw-ups of the cases and having to make the death certificates change. And they'd investigated 13 of the deaths, but only could give enough information on 4 of them to overturn and read and change the death certificate.
Okay.
Because there wasn't anything nothing suggestive of the other 10.
So what do you think? The public and the governor?
Public, and then Bill Clinton is running for president of the United States.
Oh.
Yeah. And I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but bad optics. And Joycelyn Edwards, oh my gosh. I didn't know that she
But
was
why, if you want to run for the president and you do win, we all know this, what kudos does that do for your presidency that you're like, oh, he's doing this wonderful thing for the state of Arkansas. Look, he fired this guy or made him resign.
Well, he gets rid of all the bad press.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could see that.
She's the Jocelyn Edwards, U.S. Surgeon General under Bill Clinton. He made that woman the U.S. Surgeon General. That's what I thought. I did not know she was from Arkansas.
I was young when he was, well, not young. I was in junior high.
It blows my mind because I wouldn't pay any attention.
So do we have any changes or any developments from this that have hopefully...
No, it's all fallen out. I mean, the problem is that, you're left with whatever's written down. And if his notes sucked or they were wrong and you have no proof that they were wrong because the body's gone, what are you going to do?
So all these unanswered questions for some of these families.
They will always remain unanswered.
Wow.
And how many of these murders that they went to trial and convicted people, like the West Memphis 3, went to trial and convicted people, were because of this BS going on here?
It makes me wonder how many others is out there that don't have the money or the resources or the ability to appeal or,
Correct. I agree with that.
Because if you're a poor person from Arkansas and you get wrongly convicted, you're kind of screwed. Like you have a public defender, which is your right under our laws, but that doesn't mean that they necessarily will get fair, justice.
I agree.
Crazy.
Anyhow, so what's coming up? Anything? The reason I want to do this episode is because recap. People are like, okay, this is interesting stuff. It's craziness. But what does this have to do with true crime? It has everything to do with true crime because this is the guy that signs off on it all.
Yeah.
And all these people that, not the ones that are missing and never found, but all the ones that died, his hands are involved in everything from 79 to 91, 92.
So it makes you wonder,
did they even do they have the pathology that they need?
How many homicides were actually, now unable to determine or undetermined?
Yeah, and if he's so easy to say this guy wasn't killed, he killed himself after shooting himself 4 times in the chest with a high-powered...
That's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
That's a duh. I mean, we all know that that's a duh.
He didn't even look.
I mean,
did he not just look?
I mean, you could tell by, that guy's got 4 bullet holes. I would think that you would need no education in forensics to know that that is not a suicide.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's crazy stupid. I mean, yeah. You nick that lung, you're not pulling that trigger again.
No.
You hit an artery, you're not pulling.
No, you're not.
The concussion alone could stop your heart. Because you'd have to have, if you're going to commit suicide with a handgun pressed up against your chest, and I'm assuming it's a handgun, that concussion of the powder and everything could stop your heart. Because you're going to have it pressed right up against your chest because you're having to hold the gun backwards.
Yeah, he definitely didn't shoot himself with a rifle. He wouldn't be able to reach it.
Yeah, if that's the case, if it was a rifle, then we know that guy's an idiot.
Well, we know he's an idiot because 4 times.
Or getting paid off or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's not right.
No, that's messed up.
Yeah. And then the 2 kids on the railroad track smoking pot got run over by a train. No. But in his defense on that one, though, these kids were so badly destroyed by the train. Because you think, they got run over by a train. What you don't understand is they got run over by every car on that train. And there's probably between 60 and 100 cars.
They got obliterated.
4 metal train wheels on each car.
Yeah, they got obliterated.
Yeah, that's sad to say. I'm just going to say it, meat grinder.
Yeah, that's a horrible way to go.
Yeah, and the guy that had to clean it up was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I hate to hear that.
Exactly. So in his defense, if he could have just put something else besides fell asleep on the train track, if he would have said undetermined, maybe they fell asleep on the train track from smoking weed because their THC level was such and such.
How are you going to be able to tell THC level if their body's obliterated?
Well, I don't.
I mean, that's my point. I mean,
I'm sure there's ways. If you can get enough blood out of the liver, maybe you can take a liver test, take a piece of liver and run it through a spectrometer or whatever.
I mean, I don't know. I
spin it up and see what's in it.
That is something that I'm a little over my wheelhouse of knowledge.
Separate it out, see what's in there. But at the time, they didn't have mass spectrometers.
They didn't have any of that stuff.
But they had to physically take a sample, put it in a jar, heat it up, spin it, and test every liquid on the layers, after layer after layer. Because they have to separate everything. You do that with gravity a lot of times. Different molecules, way different things.
Yeah, I don't know. He just probably assumed they were teenagers, and that's what they were doing in those days.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have it could be that.
Maybe they were.
That's his form of undetermined. I don't know.
But still, jeez.
But 4 gunshots to the chest, though.
That's the one where I'm like, no.
I can't really pass on that one.
No, that's are you stupid?
Maybe, and we don't know. Maybe he nicked himself for it 3 times and then finally did it.
Still.
I think it's hard. Try it. Just pretend.
I know.
Get a squirt gun, one of your kids' squirt guns or something.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not easy.
I'm saying.
He could have missed.
That one just screams, are you an idiot?
There's always more to it than what we know. And that's the
true.
thing about true crime. You listen to people's opinions. You listen to them give you this deal about this case.
Theories.
Yeah. And their opinion is generally shaped by what they've read. That's why we don't read those books.
Yeah.
We listen to the podcasts, but we don't read those books because facts are the only thing that matters.
Facts are important, yeah.
Yeah. But if the facts don't support it, then you shouldn't be going around saying that's the way it is. Conspiracy theories aren't as prevalent as people think they are. What's my line? I tell people that think the government's spying on them, I say, you're not that important.
None of us are.
No, they don't care what you're doing. And I never will. Honestly, unless you're president or have run a Fortune 500 company, then maybe, you know.
You make threats to the president, then they probably would care.
Yeah, they're going to come find your ass at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But regular people going back and forth to work, making dinner at night, going to the movies, you know.
No, we're not that important.
Drunk driving every now and again.
Just pay our taxes. That's all they care about.
And even then, they don't care because most of us don't pay enough taxes for them to even notice.
Maybe.
$1,200 a year. Who cares?
Yeah.
Nobody cares. The government's $32 trillion in debt. They're not going to care. $1,200. They spent that in exhaling.
Oh, gosh. So what do you want to cover next week?
I don't know. What do you think? We want to do some actual true crime, or you want to do, you want to find out why nuclear silos not nuclear power plants can't melt down anymore? We can do that. I mean, I know I got all kinds of things that I'm interested in. That usually means I'm the only one interested in them. So.
Oh, I don't know. I just went from schoolwork to sitting down for this. I need a moment to think.
That's why I asked you. Sure you want to do it right now?
Let's do it.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping you were saying, but not about the podcast.
Oh, my Lord.
What?
We're going to come up with something, probably some true crime. I don't know. We'd appreciate your feedback, or if there's anything you want us to cover.
Or what do you think about the music we've been playing?
Yeah, give us feedback on that, because Paul's having fun with this.
Yeah, this song, I went and made it talk about a doctor that didn't know what he was doing. So if you go back and listen to the lyrics, I think what I'm going to do, thinking about this, if you like the music, I'm thinking I'm going to put it on Patreon. And for like $10 or $5, you can then get all the tracks as a download and keep them on your phone.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that might be fun.
That'd be fun.
And also, too, if you want to just help us not worry about paying for this podcast anymore, you could go to our website, paulgnewton.com. That's PaulGnewton.com, and look at the swag. The swag is really cool. I'm going to have some new shirts up there probably this next week or two.
What kind of shirts are you going to... I don't know what you're going to put up there. I guess I need to find out until you make them.
Right now, we have one up there that's Donuts or Murder. Can't tell the difference.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that one, yeah.
And then you have your cat one that you like. And then we have the hat as well.
Oh, yeah.
This is, oh my God, Paul, stop. OMG, Paul, stop.
Yeah,
Because she says that a lot of times whenever I'm going off the hook.
This is true.
Yeah. And then in reality, she just looks at me with a grimace. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, stop.
What?
Ah.
And so go there and buy some stuff, or just send us money. Either way.
Yeah, money's good.
Yeah, just send us a check. We'll cash it.
Yeah, it helps us keep this running.
Yeah, I think what's our budget? Our budget's about 50 a month? It's about 85 a month to make this thing work.
Yeah,
Between all the
right.
software and crap that we have to do.
Yeah, it's about right.
And so it'd be nice. Anyway. You can also email us at paulg@paulgnewton.com if you want to complain. That's fine too. Leave us a review, and even if your review says you guys suck, that's okay. Leave a review. We like those kind of things because a review is a review is a review, and the internet doesn't care. And so there you go. What?
Nothing.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well,
Bye.
Bye.
But you keep changing your mind like the weather outside the door. If you're guessing, just say so. 'Cause our trust is wearing thin. We're not files in where the heart's just standing there. Do you lie awake and doubt yourself, or sleep just fine while we unravel? If you're lost, then let us see it. We can carry some of the travel. We sit in this cold bedroom, you scroll. We assume you're sure, but you keep changing your mind like the weather outside the door. If you're guessing, just say so. Let the truth, not pride, step in. We're not files in a row where the heart's just standing there.
Thank you for listening to Things I Want to Know. You want these stories, and we want to bring them to you. So hit the support link and keep this circus and the mics alive. Then do us a favor, rate and subscribe. It helps the show find more people just like you, the ones who like their mysteries real and their storytellers unfiltered. And if you want to wear a little bit of this madness, grab some Andrea-approved gear at paulgnewton.com. We make these things for you because it matters, and you're the kind who knows the difference.